and welcome to Rat Salad Review. Today we're doing something new, another new show, another one of Greg's ideas.
Yes, and it's going to be called Screams from the Grave because it's going to be about albums that either, maybe were less liked or seen as a misstep in a band's career or just something really obscure that's been forgotten about.
Yeah,
it's been buried, so to speak.
There's plenty of those. So we'll have a lot to choose from.
I think it'll be fun.
I think it will be. I think it will
different.
Be. Yep. And we're going to start. Well, you picked this one. Kiss.
Yes, I did.
Unmasked. And when you said Kiss Unmasked, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to listen to that. Because I remember it. Vaguely I remember it. And I just remember not liking it a lot.
I got this one when I was pretty young, along with the rest of the original albums. So I always liked it. Yeah. It's definitely not their best, but it definitely ranks firmly in the middle of the catalog. And there's quite a few really good songs on here, but there's stuff that hurts it a lot, like Criss not really being on it, which I didn't even know until the remasters came out in like 2001 or so. I don't know if they ever announced that or not before, or if it was just common knowledge. But.
Yeah, I was going to ask Lisa.
Yeah.
Welcome to this show. You're on our King Diamond show, and you're on this show. Sometimes you pop up on our regular show, the Rat Salad Review show.
Yep.
When this album came out, what were you doing? What were you listening to?
I was listening to, in 1980, I was listening to Kiss, 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 and Kiss.
I couldn't tell by the t-shirt you're wearing.
I got this shirt when it was big on me. And now it's a little belly shirt. That's right. So, yeah, I love this album. Actually, the first album I bought with my own money was Dynasty. And this one came out, it wasn't that long. Was it even a whole year? Was it about a year later or something? I don't know. It really was pretty close.
Back then, like a lot of the albums came out
1980, and I think Dynasty came out in the spring of 79, so a little less than a year.
A little less than a year even. So I bought this one with my own money, walked down to the record store, bought it with my own money, and it was crack, and I loved it, and it was weird and different. It definitely sounded different than Kiss.
Yeah.
But, to my 10-year-old ears, I just loved it. I danced to it all the time. I learned all the words that I could understand. I just ate this album the fuck up. And it's just looking back at it now, of course, after, having not heard it for so long and having become a professional musician, it's like, this is power pop, man. This is actually really good power pop. And it's also on the verge of when in the pop scene, disco gave way to new wave. Yeah. So you actually hear a lot of new wave influence in here. And actually some of it's kind of punk.
Yeah. I have noticed that. Yep.
Yeah. So I love this record. And it was cool because when you asked me, because there's some of these King Diamond albums and stuff that I don't really know that well. Because I heard them once and I went, it's okay.
Yeah.
But this, it's like, I listened to it. I was like, I was singing right along and I hadn't heard it in so long. So it's just really catchy. Love it. Thank you for asking me to.
Yeah, not a problem.
Part of this is cool.
Because I figured you would like it because of how much you like good choruses and melodies. Because I think this album is great. Even though, the songwriting may not be the best all the time. Almost everything on here is immensely catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's tough with me, when I got into Kiss, I started with Revenge, pretty much. I mean, I heard like the older songs, Rock and Roll Night and all that, but Revenge was like my first Kiss album I ever bought.
Oh God, that was like
so I had to work my way back, and then when I got to this album, it was like so wimpy and weak, and I probably listened to it maybe once or twice, and I was done with it. Hearing songs like Shandi, like at that time when I was younger, and I really didn't, catch on to that stuff, and Shandi didn't do nothing for me, and Talk to Me, everything was just, it was not Kiss, it wasn't the Kiss that I really, really liked.
Yeah.
Total change. But when Greg, you brought up to, to do this show and listen to this album again, I listened to it and I'm like, this album's not as bad as I remember it. You know, it just I got more used to the music. I guess because over time, you know, I've gotten into different bands and stuff, and just listening to this now, I actually like almost the whole album. I'm very
as it should be.
Yeah, it's not as bad as I remember it. You know, it does have, like you said, Lisa, it has that pop sound and definitely has that disco sound that's still there, and but it's cool, you know, and it's a little bit more cleaner sounding too, which isn't normal for Kiss. It's a little too clean. I would like a little bit dirtier sounding, but it's cool. It's a very nice sounding album.
It is a little too clean, and also, you know, Dynasty was a lot thicker sounding than this. I don't know why he changed it here, but this is a really thin sounding record. Yeah, but with the whole power pop thing, you know, I think Vinnie Poncia might brought over a little bit of what he did with Ringo Starr too, because there's some definite Beatles moments on some of these songs on here.
Yes.
Like what?
Naked City.
Think here. Yep, Naked City is a big one.
How is that a Beatles influence?
That lonely people looking for something. Lonely people going nowhere. That sounded very Beatles to me.
I didn't pick up on that. Yeah.
Yep, and then You're All That I Want sounds really I mean, I really don't like how the vocals are executed on that song. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's got a really good Beatles sound to it.
Yep.
That's cool. Well, I love the opening track. Is That You? That's cool. And just a few weeks ago, I heard like the you saw it. I posted it on Facebook.
Yeah, the Gerard McMahon demo from when he wrote it.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I thought it was a Kiss song, but obviously somebody else wrote it. But cool. I like both versions.
Yeah. I wish they played it punkier like he did though. Yeah. Like I love that Is That You as an opener with that chunky guitar riff and cats drooling on a bar stool. You know, that's they didn't write it, but Paul sings it with conviction. That's one of my favorite songs on here.
Yeah. And Shandi, the only hit from the album. It's a good song. It's very catchy. The video's a little corny and whatever, but you know, it's from the 80s.
And Paul actually plays all guitars on that song.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah. Wow, that's great.
Yep. You know,
nice layers.
I noticed that about once I started listening to this and reading the liner notes and all that. Because one of the things I think that really saves this album and gives it a little bit more of a rock edge is Frehley's distorted guitar. And you don't really notice it because the record's so catchy and well written with the hooks, but the guitars do sound different on some of Paul's songs, and it's because he played them all himself. Ace has a real unique, sloppy playing style, and you can tell when it's not him if you really listen for it.
And you could tell they asked Kulick to play in his style.
Oh, yeah. But, like, I mean, honestly...
Play a lick the way Ace might play it. But it's so clean and tidy.
I think it works great on Tomorrow, though, because Tomorrow is almost like a Cars song. It's so new wave, but I don't think Ace could quite play it like that.
Yeah, probably not. I never thought about that as a Cars song either. Now, you know, you mentioned the Beatles and the Cars. I hear all that now.
Oh man, that beat with that little synth riff, and then the way he's playing the guitar. I mean, I can just see Jennifer Jason Leigh coming down the hallway in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Tomorrow was probably used to be my favorite. It was probably the only song that I liked off of this album back when I first heard it. It was the only when I used to make mixtapes. It was the only song I would put on here.
Huh, that's funny. I would have expected you to pick one of the Ace songs. That always seems to be the go-to.
Some of the Ace songs are shitty. Torpedo Girl's terrible. I hate that song. And what's the other one? Two Sides of the Coin I like. I like that one.
Two Sides of the Coin's not bad, but Talk to Me is his gem from here.
Talk to Me. I love his strong accent.
Me too. And that just, you know, I mentioned the Beatles, but that song reminds me a lot of 60 Stones, too.
Yeah. I like the intro on that song. I love the. I'm boom 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 boom. I love the bass line because I remember that's one of the first bass lines I learned.
Oh, really?
It's one of the first bass lines I ever learned. Was that bass line, man? Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, that's the coolest thing about that song. I don't know. I don't like.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, plus he managed to use conversation successfully in the lyrics.
Yeah.
Ace isn't exactly a wordsmith, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, no, I remember when we were talking with Ralph, and he was talking about that song "Torpedo Girl," and in the beginning where it says "man battle stations," they cut off like the beginning of it.
So you can hear the tape cut.
It's so bad. But Lisa, what's some of your favorite songs off this?
Oh gosh, let me see. Well, there's a few songs that, well, like you were both saying, it just a lot of it just doesn't sound like the Kiss that we knew and loved. But there's a few moments in there, and like "What Makes the World Go Round." That whole front end of that song sounds like early Kiss.
Yeah.
And it sounds like something that could be like on Dress to Kill or something, you know. And then, of course, there's different shit. There's like, what's this keyboard part in here, you know?
Yeah. But that part in the chorus where it like changes the tempo and the drums are doing that thing, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
That's really, I love that part.
Yeah, that's really well done. And then there was something else. I'm kind of took.
That's probably my favorite song on here, actually.
Yeah, that chorus makes that song so good.
And "You're All That I Want." That sounds like early Kiss to me. That really sounds like something that could be off of Dress to Kill or the first album, or even Destroyer. You know, that song. It sounds like Kiss.
But my whole thing about that song, and why I'm not crazy about it though, is I wish Peter sang it, because I think he could have pulled it off better.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, probably. It's one of my least favorites off it too.
Yeah, I like that. I like that the bass is really present.
Me too.
And Gene plays his ass off on this record.
Yeah.
He sounds great, really, and you really hear him very clearly. You hear just even some string noise and everything. I like the production. It's very clean.
Yeah,
it's not greasy. It's very, very 80s. I almost see like a Nagel painting when I hear this album.
You mean like this?
Yes, like that. Yes, like that.
That's Miss March 1981.
That's what that album sounds like, is what that looks
it
like.
Does. Clean That's exactly what Makes the World Go Round makes you think of, is a picture like that.
As the creepiest picture, man.
Yeah. What do I say is... Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, you go ahead, because I got...
All right, fine, I'll go. She's So European is probably one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my life.
It's so silly, though. It's so catchy.
It is not catchy in the least. I don't even know what does that mean. What the hell's... I don't get it.
She's so European, dude. She's one of a kind.
What is the background meaning to that? I don't know.
I have no idea.
She doesn't shave her armpits.
That
could be.
That could be.
Well, she does like champagne, so yeah, I'd say it could be. Yeah.
Oh, the other though, I don't think you mentioned it. Peter Criss obviously is not playing drums on this album.
No, I wish he was, though. I'm not the biggest fan of how Anton Fig plays on here. A little too sterile for me.
Oh, so I didn't have an issue with it, but I instantly knew when I heard like rototoms and like just more drum set being played on the album. I was like, that is definitely not Peter Criss, because I had no idea. And then you mentioned that he didn't play on Dynasty really either, except the one song that he sang on. So I didn't know Peter Criss didn't really play that much last two albums. But it's very, very noticeable. But I liked how he played, and I actually thought it was. I didn't know that they didn't have Eric Carr in the band yet, so I wasn't sure who did the album.
No, this album didn't really sell well in America, and they decided to cancel the American tour and fire Peter right then. The last thing he did with them was the video for Shandi. And this is where Ace starts to get really pissed off, because he'll usually always get outvoted 3-1 by Gene, Paul, and Bill Aucoin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame because, listening to it now, I really liked it a lot. I mean, I love the album cover. The album cover is really cool.
Yeah.
With the artwork, with the comic book and everything. But, kind of misleading too, because Unmasked, and then they show the band Unmasked, and it's just, them sitting there with them.
It's a dumb joke, but I think one thing it does really show, which is, I definitely feel with this record, because The Elder's so out of fucking left field, and Creatures of the Night is a perfect album for me, but that's a different era of Kiss. Right. This is like the tail end of classic Kiss, even though Peter doesn't play on it.
Yeah, that's true. Although I'm an Elder fan too, I love the Elder.
Oh, I love the Elder.
Yeah,
we'll be doing that on this show too.
If you're into Tolkien, you're into the Elder.
Yeah. I like it. It's just it's not classic Kiss to me. Unmasked is the end of that era.
Yeah, I think so. Lisa, anything else?
I love Naked City.
Oh, yes, me too.
I love that song. It is so well written. The bass line's cool. The arrangement's really cool. He sang his face off on that song.
Yes.
I think that's one of his best vocal performances.
Me too. I think that might be the best, actually. I mean, he sounds great on Naked City. And the way he's playing the bass and then Freely's guitar solo, that's a perfect song. That's another gem off of here.
Jorn Landy did a cover of that, and that's actually the first time I heard. Well, not obviously I heard this one first, but since I didn't like this album, when I heard Jorn Land do that cover, I was like, that song sounds very familiar. Then I realized it was a Kiss song. I really liked his cover. You should really check it out. It's very similar to the the original version. It doesn't change it up too much, but it's a really cool cover. It's a good song. It's a great song.
Oh, and Wayne, you kind of skipped over Shandi, but I love Shandi.
No, I said Shandi was the second song I said. I was kind of going in order, then we just skipped it over.
Yeah, I know. We didn't really talk about it, but I love Shandi. It's super catchy. Pure Velveeta, but excellent.
Well, we didn't talk about Easy As It Seems, which I don't know if it's a love it or hate it thing, but that to me is like a total discotheque, booty shaking, badass, like, the bass line just kicking.
If you changed a few things around about the arrangement a little bit, it would be one of the best songs Rick James ever did. But he didn't do it. Kiss did it.
Yeah.
And that one actually really sounds the most like Dynasty to me, probably because of the disco. But I really like that song. I feel it's a little out of place where it is, though. Yeah, if you got rid of Torpedo Girl, it would.
I like Torpedo Girl. I think Torpedo Girl's wacky, and that whole intro, boom, and the drums are doing something, and then the guitar is doing something. It's like this little. I think it's a little gem where you have all these parts and they're doing something different, and it creates this little tapestry. I love that. I mean, the lyrics I think are clumsy.
Yeah, the music is good. It's the lyrics that kill the song.
They're really it's like he just tried to jam them all in, stumbling over himself.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
Yeah. But, no, there's musical parts I don't care for in the chorus either. He could have tightened that one up a little bit. I don't really like that song. Starts off with a really cool funk rock type thing, and but even if it was inspired by Donna Summer, I love Easy As It Seems. I don't know if it was, but it certainly sounds like it.
So, all right, well, it's Unmasked. Anything else you want to talk about it, Greg?
No, just I think it's a great record, and it's really, really different for Kiss, but it definitely deserves more recognition than it gets.
Yeah. Lisa?
I love it, and it all came flooding back to me. There's albums that I haven't heard for many years, and then I take a listen to it, and these were albums that I sang along to every single word, and then a piece will come back here, some of that, that's how that goes. This album, every single song, I remember how that goes, because it's all just pop candy, man.
Yeah.
Love it.
I definitely agree with you. And if you hated the album like I did once before, go back and take another listen. You'll probably like it now. It really ages well over time, I would think.
You know, the thing about it is, too, like I said, Ace's guitar tone, and then just the fact that on the songs he doesn't play on, they tried to, well, not tried to, they did. They distorted the tone a little bit. It really gives a little bit of edge to it. So I think there's a lot here even classic, diehard Kiss fans would like.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot, but I could definitely see them liking Is That You? I mean, that song's not really all that different from I Want You.
Right.
From Rock and Roll Over.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Even Naked City could sound like, what the hell's that song? Like Black Diamond or something.
Yeah, Black Diamond. That's another one where, although I love Gene's performance on it, I really would like to hear how Peter would sing that song. Just because it's real R&B, it really fits it, and he's got kind of that Wilson Pickett type voice.
Yeah, that's the one. Like you keep mentioning, Peter, Criss. That's the one thing I missed on this album. He's not singing any songs.
That's the one I really wish he sang, and it'll never happen, obviously, because they hate each other now. But I would love to hear him on "Easy as It Seems" because he has that Motown type voice, and it has that type of beat. I think he would just knock it out of the park.
Yeah, it would probably work. All right. Well, thank you very much, Lisa, for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. We'll have you back again.
Are we going to rate it by number?
Oh, you want to rate it? We'll rate it, sure.
Wow.
1 through 10.
Okay.
I give it a 7, honestly.
A 7? All right.
It has its faults, but it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Especially after Dynasty, because, you know, there were parts about Dynasty where, you know, Ponce is pretty good at glossing up with production, so you don't really notice it as you're listening to the album. But if you think about certain songs written by different band members, it doesn't really all quite fit together on that record, but it does here. I think this one flows very well.
Lisa?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I've never been into like rating albums. It's hard to say. I mean, you know, looking back, I think it was a big influence on my songwriting.
Really? That's awesome.
These eras of just noticing, oh, this is where a pre-chorus goes, and this is where the chorus goes. Oh, and then you break it down at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was such a big influence on that part of my thinking, I guess. So I'd give it an 8 at least. I mean, there's just some clunky, like everybody notices.
Yeah.
There's some clunky songwriting in here.
Yeah.
You know. She's so European.
Yes, one of the most clunky songs ever.
She's got great expectations. Hey.
Yeah. Oh God. Well, I don't hate that as much as I hate.
Yeah.
That
No,
one,
I like that song. But yeah, I'm gonna agree with you, Lisa. It's an 8 for me. Yeah, I only dislike.
Yeah,
two,
to hell with it.
so.
I'll go 8 too. I gotta agree with you guys
Come on,
because
bring
I
it.
definitely like it as much as you.
Yeah, no, it's a really good album, and you should definitely check it out if
Plus,
you haven't heard it.
It gets like 2 full points alone just for what makes the world go round. I mean,
that's probably one of the best Kiss choruses ever. I think.
Oh yeah, and that would have totally fit in on Love Gun, even Dressed to Kill. That's actually the album this makes me think of the most. So I find it really cool you said that, Lisa. This one really reminds me of Dressed to Kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Especially that whole verse. Yeah, love it.
Yep. Lisa, want to promote your stuff?
Oh yeah. Oh, let's check this out here. White Crone. The Poisoner. So I've been shipping a lot of these to Germany. This got reviewed in a German magazine. So you can either purchase the album if you're somewhere out of the United States. You can purchase the CD as is with the tray, or I could just pop the tray out and put it in an envelope and do it inexpensively. So it's whitecrone.bandcamp.com. And then I have a new blues EP. Actually, it's got some kind of country influences and pop influences. Like I said, man, Kiss was huge influence on my songwriting. Really was. So there might even be a little bit of that snuck into here. So this is lisamann.bandcamp.com. And these are very different things. So don't expect them to sound anything at all alike, because they don't.
Yeah, don't get a shock when you get the Lisa Mann one. Like,
Go,
this isn't metal.
It's not.
But definitely get yours. I got mine in the mail the other day, so you will enjoy it. And also buy our stuff. We just got a new T-shirt. Look at the cool design. If anybody recognizes that album cover from the Don't Break the Yoke, it's pretty cool. Rocky Baya, he does most of our artwork, so he worked on this for me. Came out really cool. And you can get that at, just go to ratsaladreview.com, and there's a link up there to get all our shirts and everything. And I think that's it. Subscribe to YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean. Just search Rat Salad Review on Google, and you will find us everywhere. Greg, anything else?
No, I mean, I could make up something real quick.
You could. We're going to get you like another thing that you can promote.
Looking for money? Are you gullible and dumb as hell? Well, then grab your wallet and your resume and your social security cards, ATM cards, and whatever credit cards you may have, and come on down and apply at the Rat Salad Review Car Wash.
All right. On that note, we will see you guys next time.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Hey.
What?